Hi everyone, it's Justine here from House of Mahalo. Thanks so much for joining me today. So this is my first video for the challenge that we're starting this month for the Tatty Treasure and Friends Facebook group. In case you missed my sort of introduction type of video, this is a challenge that I'll be hosting for the group, and it's all about finishing off your unfinished projects. I think we've called it Finishing the Unfinished, something like that. So the idea is that you are going to be getting out all of your projects that you've either started, maybe you've gathered up supplies for something specific to make with them, maybe you've printed out a kit, maybe you've bought a kit, whatever it is that you have sort of had the good intention to start and then just not carried it on. This is the month, hopefully, where hopefully you'll want to join in and get involved and finish them off. So a little birdie, aka Tanya, did tell me that there are prizes involved, or a prize involved, if you do want to do the challenge. So all of the sort of key information about the challenge will be in the Facebook group, which is linked below. But for now, let's just get into the project that I'm going to be doing, kicking us off with today. And I have got the introductory video linked below as well, in case you want to see that, because I did talk about it in a lot more detail. I'm just going to move these over because I don't think they're in the middle. Don't think you can see everything. Okay, so what is my project? So last summer I pressed lots and lots of leaves and flowers and different bits that I'd picked up on my dog walks, with the intention to turn them into originally specimen cards. So these are some that I made last summer. And this was actually my very first tutorial that I did on YouTube. I made these. And they are journal cards, and I suppose you call them faux specimen because you can write on the back. And they were using junk mail envelopes. So that's how these ones turned out. So completely junk mail envelopes. I think I've got a cereal box in there, and then they're just backed with either tea-dyed or vintage paper that I've cut from like books and things like that. So if you didn't see the video, this is how these look. So as I say, this was when I was very, very new to YouTube. I think I even recorded a voiceover because I was too scared to talk whilst the camera was rolling. But that's what I made that time. And I had still, after doing that project, I had leaves left over, which were actually too big or too wide, too big to fit in as journal cards. So I ended up coming up with the idea to use them for pockets and flips and different things like that. And you know what? I never did them. I never went on to do part 2. It might have been because I think my very first video, I got a bit anxious that no one had really watched it or commented on it, even though I'd shared it around as many places as I could think of at the time. And I think I just got a bit anxious that maybe it wasn't the right thing to be doing or something like that. So I held on to everything that I had organised for that video, never made them, and so I'm actually going to do them today. So I want these to be, pockets and flips and different things, and they are going to be quite different, I suppose. So I've got some stuff laid out, so I'm just going to reorganise myself so you can get an idea of what I have in mind. So these two, I want them to be pockets and journal cards, if I can manage it. So this one, this is just, I don't even know where this came from. It's some kind of packaging. Oh, it was a gift card packaging thing. So this one, I would like to have something in the window, and this will be completely faux because I'm actually going to use a sticker for this one, because I think I had a flower. I think it got lost or something happened in between the summer and now. So I'm actually going to make this into a faux one, but the other ones will be real pressed leaves. But this one, I would like to have this as something where you can take a journal card in and out of, and then, which will be the pocket part of it. And then I also want the whole thing to be written on as well, because this is good, nice thick card. So I think that could be a journal card and a pocket in one. This one, I think something similar. This one might end up just being a journal card because it is portrait. I'm not quite sure yet, but I do know what I want in the window for that. I've got some scrapbook paper and this pretty leaf. Sorry if I'm all over the place, by the way. I've had to turn my camera around because I've got a new desk organiser which jutted out a little bit too far, so I've had to flip things around a bit. So I'm just getting used to where everything is being placed, so bear with me on that. And then for these two, again, just make sure you can see everything. These two, I want to do a little bit of mixed media. So these are, of course, CD envelopes, so I want them to be flippy flappy. And we're going to do some mixed media around the windows on these. So I might not get time to do all 4 today, especially as I've had to spend the first 5-6 minutes telling you about the project. But if needs be, I will do these on a separate video together because they will need time to dry anyway, and you'll see that tomorrow your time. Okay, so we'll come back to these for now. To start with, we're going to focus on these two today, and depending on how things go, we might get time to do those later. We'll see how it goes. Okay, so I think I'm going to start with this one first of all. So here's what I've got. Now this is something that I prepared, as I say, in the summer. So this was the gift card thing, and it already has this window in it, so I immediately thought specimen card or some kind of framing something. I've got a scrap piece of vellum which is double folded over. I have this offcut which actually comes from a printable I bought in the summer. I can't remember exactly which just now, but I will link everything below. So yeah, I can't remember the shop, but I will link this kit below just in case. And it was basically some floral ephemera pieces, which I thought would look really, really nice in the window. And I've got these stickers, which my stepmom gave these to me. She was clearing out some craft stuff, I think. So I think I'm going to use the white sticker flower. And I have got, bear with me. You might have remembered I've talked about Nanine from Collaged Type. She's got her Cottage Rose kit, which I've been using. And she's got these collage-y type of sheets in the kit. And I'm thinking I might use those as well. So, enough talking, more doing. Let's get going. So I'm just going to get everything out of my way, get my mat out, and then I'll come back and we'll get going. All right, so I'm going to work on this one first. So what am I going to do? Right, I want to get the sort of around the middle done first because I can use the window as a template. So I've got these 2 collage sheets from Nanine's kit. The kit is linked below in case you want to check it out. And I want one with sort of quite a mix of different things, I suppose. So I'm wondering whether to use this part of the sheet, because obviously we're going to be this way up. And so I'm thinking if I were to pop it somewhere, then I could get a lot of different things in. So I'm going to use my Collaged on the front. And although I have some things organised, I am still figuring things out as we go. So, you know, bear with me on that one. Let me just... Right, so I'm using the Collaged for speed. And I'm hoping this will do okay. So pop that down. There we go. So thanks so much for joining me. If I didn't already say, I hope you had a lovely, lovely Christmas. We certainly have. So I'm trying to think, where shall we stick you? I kind of want to get an eclectic mix. So I kind of want to just stick it down and then just see what we get. Almost like a surprise, I suppose. So let's turn this over, make sure I'm not, oops, squeezing out too much random glue. Oops, sorry, knocking my mat now. First crafting of the day this morning, so I'm probably a little bit rusty. I'm hoping the Collaged would have grabbed okay. Might just have to give it a minute. So I'm going to leave that to dry for just a second because I want to be sure that it is definitely all stuck down before I start cutting. And I wanted to get the sticker in because that one's nice and easy. I seem to have misplaced my sticker. 2 seconds. No, I didn't. I was staring right at it. There we go. Okay, so I think I'm going to go with this white flower down here. It's got a little bit of pink on. It's quite vintagey looking, and it looks really nice inside the window. Now, hopefully, I've never used these stickers before, so hopefully they'll be okay to pull up. Oops, without ripping. Otherwise, I will have to come up with a plan B sticker. Let's just see. They're quite old, so I imagine they're, you know, not their best kind of shape, really. Okay. They still feel very sticky, though. They do still very sticky. Right, so I don't have the window to help me, but I'm going to use this because this is going to be inside the window. And I want the, can you see the, got all of these yellow flowers down the side there. And I kind of want this to fit in nicely with all of that. So I'm thinking about potentially having this something like that. And then that's going to be folded behind the vellum like that. And then in the window it's going to be, you know, quite faint because this is thick vellum, so it's going to be, you know, you're only just going to be able to make it out, but I kind of like the vintagey sort of feel to that. So let's see, is this feels goodly well stuck down. So then I'm just going to cut around, or should I tear? No, let's cut just in case. Because I don't really want to have to reprint anything today, if I can help it. I just want to use what I've got. Okay. So tell me, what did you get up to over Christmas? What were your plans? My husband and I, Scott, we mainly did. Well, we had our roast dinner. We do every year, even if it's just us two. Good excuse to have a roast dinner. We bought some special meat from Lidl this year. It was a 3-bed roast, if I remember correctly. Very tasty. Okay, fabulous. And then obviously we need to cut out the window for this one. So let's see, will the light help me? Right, I'm going to go for, I kind of don't want to waste this paper, so I'm going to see if I can try and go somewhere at the top. There we are. And then if I go this way, I'll be able to see. I am wondering whether I should have done enough that you could like flap it over so that it's got a neater edge. But because it's got these rounded corners, I think that will be too tricky. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut around. Yeah, so we had a 3-bed roast for dinner. What else did we do? We played some board games. We ate plenty of chocolate. And what else did we do? Yeah, played some board games. Obviously, had to take our dog for a walk. So we went on a longer walk. Well, because we had the time, I suppose, more than anything. And just more than anything, it was really nice just to have some time together because we have been very, very busy in the run up to Christmas. Busier than normal because of our 2 shops. So yeah, it's been a busy old time. So it was very nice to just, yeah, have that time together and relax. But yeah, I'd love to know what your plans were. What did you get up to? Let me know. As I say, I'm sorry if I feel a bit rusty this morning. It's been a little while since I've crafted, and also it's the morning. I'm not a morning person, and yeah, I'm still trying to get used to different setup. So I noticed my first mistake, I've put it on upside down, haven't I? And it doesn't matter, apart from that flower probably looks better this way. Now, it's not going to be a flip or anything. I had intended on it just being like this on the page, and then you pull out the journal card, and then, well, I was thinking about turning it into a writing spot potentially. So, I mean, this paper can go any which way, because you've either got upside down writing there, or I think we'll stick it this way, because although the flower is upside down, I think I'd much rather the writing was the right way. Or I might change my mind, we'll see. No changes there. It might be a new year, but I'm still same old indecisive Justine. So there we are. Right, let's take that out, just tidy up the window a little bit. Again, it doesn't need to be perfect, but I don't want it to be completely scrappy. There we go. Oops. So yeah, these videos, finishing up projects, I'll be doing them every Monday this month. Just whilst I'm here, you can post your photos in the group. Each week I'll put up a post asking you for your photos. If you want to be included in the prize draw, add your photos each week. 1, 2, 3, and 4 rather. And your name will go down in a hat, and you'll win the prize, which I'm not sure if we're revealing it yet. But it's from Tanya, so I'm sure it'll be a good prize. But the most important thing is really just, you know, getting involved and joining us, finishing off some projects, starting off the year strong, all that jazz. Okay, right, I'm pretty happy with that window. If I was on my own, I would probably carry on cutting just a little bit more. But I'm also going to go around with my ink. So I might just do that. I might hit you on pause because I am a bit of a perfectionist. So I might just tidy up that window a bit, ink around it, and then we'll come back and we'll carry on. Alright, I've done all my inking. So now let's have a think about the window. So obviously I want this to be a pocket that you can slide things in and out of. So this piece is just printed onto paper. So what I think I'm going to do is have this glued onto the window part, with this obviously in there as well. And then we're going to put some card on the back, I think, just to protect it. I think that's what we're going to do. So, question, do we need, yes we do, of course we do. I was going to say, do we need the folded over piece of vellum, but I think we do. Unless I change my mind and have it behind. Yeah, I don't think we want the 2 pieces of vellum. I think one is fine, but if I stuck that down, yeah, if I stick this sticker onto the paper, I think I was worried about how well the vellum would stick. But if we stick the vellum onto the paper, you won't be able to see the edges around the window. That's what we're going to do. Okay, I've changed my mind. So I'm going to pop the sticker down onto the paper part. So let's just have a little think about where exactly we want this to be. Okay, so I don't mind if you don't see the whole thing, but I would like to see most of it. Something like that I think would be fine. There we go. This will be protected by the vellum, so I'm not too worried that it's not super sticky, being an old sticker. Something like that. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing. As I say, I'm trying to get used to the new camera setup. Okay, and then we only want, oops, one piece of the vellum. I think it's because I've changed my idea from what it was originally. That's probably why. But you know, that's what we do, isn't it? And then, as I say, it does dull it down, but I think, you know, it disguises the fact that it's a sticker, and yeah, it does look very vintagey, so I'm happy with that. So I think first of all I'm going to stick the vellum onto the paper, just along the edges, and then we can stick the whole paper down onto the window part. Okay, right. What glue to use? I'm going to try the tacky glue. I don't know how well it will work, but we will try. Okay, so hopefully we're not clogged up today. Okay. I'm sure there are probably better ways of doing this, but you know, sometimes with the junk journaling we can make it up as we go along, can't we? Okay. And half the fun really is just, you know, seeing what works and changing your mind and just having a go, really. I think that's what we always need to remember, really. It's having a go, because, you know, not everything you're going to create is going to be a masterpiece, and it doesn't have to be. It just, you have to have fun whilst, well, I don't have to have fun. It would be ideal if you had fun whilst doing everything. And just, yeah, give things a go. Just try it. Okay, where do we want this to be then? Don't want to lose too much of my sticker. But I don't want to lose too much of the backing paper either, because I quite liked it. I think something like that would be quite nice. Maybe over a little bit more. Perfect, okay, that's where we want it to be. Right, so I'm going to go around the window, and I'm going to go with the Beacon 3-in-1. It's like Fabri-Tac. The only reason I'm using that is because I want it to definitely be, you know, really, really stuck down. I just have to get a few glue blobs off my glue. Tripping over my words today. Okay, so yeah, let's just go around. I'm going to go in from the window a little bit because I just don't want to get, I don't want to risk it seeping out. Oops. And of course I go wibbly wobbly with the glue. Right, so oops, just place down. Move over a little bit, don't want to lose the leaf. Too much of the leaf anyway. Okay, let's try that. Yeah, I think that's alright. It's quite a chunky window, but yeah, I think that will be fine. Okay, so here we go. That's that one. We're not in the way of the flap or anything, which is good. And then I'm just going to go in with a little bit more glue, you know, just along these edges. Trying not to go over though, because obviously I do want this to still be an operative pocket, but you know, I'm going to have to close it anyway, so a little bit more glue won't hurt. Famous last words. Okay, how are we looking? Okay, that's what we have. Sorry about my squeaky chair. So now I want to back that with some scrap card, and then we're ready to close up the pocket, and add a bit more glue there. Okay. Alright, I'm just going to hit pause, find some scrap card, and then we'll carry on. Alright, so I've got this piece of scrap card. I have a feeling it's just some packaging or something. It's shiny on this side and matte on that side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick it down so that the shiny side is the bit that you'll slide in and out of, because I think that will help make the pocket, you know, slide. So I'm just going to go ahead and just stick it right down across this whole side just here. And I'm going to use the beacon again just to make sure that it really is adhered. Now I'm a bit worried about going across there, to be honest, just in case it shows through. So on that I'm going to use glue stick, just in case. But the beacon around the outside will hold it really firm. So going in slightly from the edge, but not in too far. Mainly making sure I'm not going over the crease. Okay, fab. And then we can just cut straight down the two sides. Oops. Make sure we're definitely glued down. Just pop it up a bit there. Of course, you could do this. So these collage sheets are obviously from Nanine's kit. It makes things super simple when the collage work is done for you already. But of course, you could just, you know, collage this up as you want. Really, it's completely up to you. So make sure we've not got glue seeping over. Make sure we are stuck down as well as can be. Don't want that sliding around. And then I'm just going to trim up a bit here because the packaging isn't incredibly, well, it's not symmetrical is the word. You can see a bit of overhang just there, so I need to trim that up, and I'm wondering whether to do that after I've stuck it down, you know, closed up the pocket. Otherwise it will be, I might cut it wrong. So I'm going to do that. So I'm going to close up. Now, what side do I want you to pull the card? Which side feels strongest? I think is the, yeah, probably that side. Right, so I'm going to glue the three sides. Oops. And I won't have time to make the journal cards to go inside today. And also I don't really know exactly what journals these are going in, so I'm going to wait to do that. My main thing today is I just wanted to get the pockets done. Because that had obviously been this project that, yeah, it must have been August. That's how long I've had those leaves just sitting in an envelope ready to be used. It's funny really how we do that to ourselves. And I think it was just for fear of, I think sometimes we can forget the quote, done is better than perfect. You know, you just have to try these things sometimes. Now I think that's going to need a little bit of time just to catch because it is shiny. There are shiny surfaces, but I just want to make sure I've not closed my pocket shut. So I'm going to pop some clips, and I realised I didn't need to glue the top side because it was it's already closed, isn't it? But I'm going to put those on. Oops, sorry. Just to help that glue catch a little bit, and then I will cut it down, and then I'm just going to back it with some kind of like writing paper. So I'll probably do that later and then just show you how they look once that's done. But there you are, project number 1. Sorry about the clips. That's the first, so that's good to finally actually get that done. Just pop it over there to dry. And I've already forgotten what I said the second project was going to be. Okay, here we go, found it. So with this one, I'm using obviously the junk mail envelope. I've got an offcut of some scrapbook paper. I think this is a Stamperia pad. And I've obviously got my leaf for the window. And I need to have a think about what I want the outside to be. And whether I want this to be a pocket or a journal card. So let me pause. I'm just going to have a think and I'll come back to you. Okay, so I've raided my scraps folder, pulled out a few bits and bobs, and for this one, I have decided I'm going to have it as a journal card. I'm sorry about the shine. I'm going to have this as a journal card because I'm worried that it's not as sturdy to be like a pocket. And I'm going to do a fair bit of collaging around it, you know, with my scraps. So I'm thinking what I'll do is I'll do the collaging around the window. Then I'll cut it down into what size I want so that it's really eclectic. And then we'll back it with some nice wrapping paper. I was going to say wrapping paper. We're going to back it with some nice writing paper. And I have this scrap offcut from some scrapbook paper, and I really like these leaves. So I'm thinking that could be a really nice thing to turn over for it. So let's get, we're going to get this stuck down first in there, just so that I know exactly where I'm having everything. So I'm going to stick the leaf down onto the card. I'm just using a bit of the beacon, hoping that won't affect the leaf too much. I'm not putting a huge amount on, just a bit. And then obviously I've only got enough cut of the paper, so I've got to be careful where I'm going to put it. So that looks to be fine. Oops, moved it. Okay, press that down. As I say, all of this will be sealed inside the envelope anyway, so it's no biggie if it is not completely stuck down. It's going to be all sealed up, so we're all good. And then I'm going to stick the card all the way down on this one. Yeah, so I'd originally thought this would be a pocket, but it's just, yeah, the envelope is a bit fragile, probably from where I've stored it. You know, it's been sitting around for months and all of that sort of stuff. So I just thought, you know what, let's make this a journal card. Because I have a feeling this pocket and journal card that I've just made today, they're probably going to go in the same journal, is what I'm thinking. So I don't want it to look too, I want them to be coordinating, but I don't want them to look too samey, is what I'm thinking. They won't go together, but they will be in the same journal. Okay. Right, so we have that. And then I need to close up the envelope again, I think. So I'm going to do it around the window. Again, staying sort of not being too close in, so that the glue doesn't seep. And this is really just to, yeah, keep it all down. Oops. And then I can go on and, oh, sorry about that. That was the postman dog going off again. So I've got my scraps. Just move them over so you can see them. And I'm hoping to just, I don't want to think too much about it. I just want to have, you know, some bits and bobs around. Very eclectic. Yeah, definitely, it will definitely be eclectic. So let's just see what we can come up with. And I want it to be very like torn edges. So this will be a lot of tearing paper and a lot of inking, but we'll just see what we can come up with today. Okay. Fab. So yeah, I'd love to know if you're going to get involved with the challenge that we're doing. If you are, you know, I'd love to know what it is that you're going to be making. As I say, you need to do the for the prize draw. It's 4 projects in the month. Am I going to be able to tear that? It's a thin piece, so I might struggle with tearing this one, but we'll try. Oh, yeah, got it. Yeah, so 4 projects in the month. They can be, you know, you could do them all on one day. You could do them throughout the month, you know, one a week or something like that. It's completely up to you. You would just need to post them. Yeah, post them. Now I'm trying very hard not to use too many different types of paper. I think it was Tanya from Teddy Treasure. She said something about when she does collaging, she uses just a few of the same sort of pieces, and she says she finds that a lot easier when it comes to collaging. And I'm still very much learning for collage, so I'm willing to go with what she says. Now I did think about having some green, but because of the window, I think actually I'm going to keep 2 neutrals on the outside, is what I'm thinking. And again, just trying very hard not to think too hard, because, you know, it's collage. It's just, you know, have some fun with it, see what happens, isn't it? I feel like I've got all of the like sepia toned on the right and all of the printable from the Means kit on the left, which wasn't intended. I don't know if I should, if I put a piece of this where that is. Again, I just want it to be very eclectic, and when I then cut the journal card, I have no idea what will come of it, and I'm okay with that, because I love being surprised. That's why I like doing masterboards and just cutting into them. I like being surprised at what you get. Okay, the last piece of this, some dictionary paper. Oh, that's probably, it's got clown written on that one. There we go, turn over. Right, let's get some inking and sticking, and we'll just see what happens, and get some lids on our glues. Okay, right. Yeah, so I think I said this when I was doing a collage masterboard. You know, with collaging, I've heard it's just easiest if you just go ahead and get stuff stuck down, and worry about it later. I should probably get a glue sheet out, shouldn't I? That would be a good idea. So I'm coming in over the window, because I didn't want to have to cut around this window somehow. I didn't want to have to worry about all that. So I just want it to yeah, overhang and just be very, it is what it is. You know, it's just some paper stuck down, and then hopefully it will look good when we're done. Now I'm trying to work out how long I've been filming for, and I'm wondering, you know, do you want to see me stick all these papers down, or should I I'm just going to stick this one upside down, just because I'm feeling, you know, just to change it up. Yeah, I'm just wondering whether to keep the camera rolling, or whether I should I stopped the video a couple of times, you know, for the postman and things, so I actually don't know how long I've been filming for. So I can't decide whether I'll put a couple more pieces down, and then I think I will hit pause, maybe. I think it's just because I want to ink each piece, or maybe if I go ahead and ink each piece off camera, I don't know. Oh, I'm indecisive, aren't I? Right, let's just put that there. And we had this one going down the side of there. So I'm just trying to work out whether to add any labels or fussy cuts. As I say, I want the focus really to be the you know, the window, what's in the window. Oops. I feel like I'm all fingers and thumbs today. I just keep knocking stuff. Okay, do that. Just eat into that book page a little bit. I really should get a glue sheet out. You were screaming at me, aren't you? She said she was going to do it. Why has she not done it yet? Something like that. Okay. Right. Now this one's quite a straight piece, isn't it? I did it with the ruler, so I'm actually going to re-tear that one because otherwise it will be the only neat piece and it will look a little bit off. So possibly that. Oops. Just going to use that piece. Good way to get rid of your scraps as well, if you're like me and they're starting to build up a little bit. There we go, something like that, something like that, something like that. So yeah, I think that's how I'm going to have it. So I'm going to hit pause, just in case it is a really long video. Ink all around, stick them down, and then we'll carry on. Okay, so I've done all the gluing and inking, sticking. Gluing and sticking are the same thing, aren't they? And as you can see, I didn't really, you know, I wasn't too precious about where I was putting things, but I did try to keep the same kind of tones. You know, you've got the grey sort of colour and the sepia old tones. And I haven't used too many different pieces of paper. I think it's really the same book, a bit of dictionary paper, and then obviously the pieces from the kit left over from before. So let me just move that. So now I need to cut it down into a journal card type of size. And all I'm going to do, and I don't really want to be too precious about what size to do it. What I do want to achieve though is, obviously I don't want to cut through the window, and I mean, we can always do more collaging if we need to, so I'm just going to get on with it and see what happens. So just going to go there. And I'm trying to be careful with the trimmer because it doesn't like me too much. Okay, and I'm just going to turn it this way so I can see better what angle we're going with. Again, I'm not pressing too hard. And I'm kind of treating this like I would a masterboard, where I'm kind of just letting the collaging dictate where I'm cutting. So, you know, there's no science. I think what I do want is the window to be, you know, in the middle, obviously, because that's what we're focusing on. So can you see here, I've got maybe a little bit too much at the top. Not a huge amount, but just enough that it's probably a little bit uneven, non-symmetrical. But I'm going to go for this side first, and then we will see what we have got left with. I think I have less to go on this side, so I'm just going to actually move it in a little bit. Okay, how's that? Oh yeah, I think I've gone in a little bit too much on the left-hand side. So again, I don't do measuring. I'm a wing it type of person. And that can either work out or not at all. But it's a lot of fun just going with it. Okay, need to do a little bit of neatening up. And I'm going to take a little bit off of the top. And then I will call it not done, but at least better. Okay, so yeah, I need to neaten up with some scissors, just because yeah, it's my trimmer. It's not amazing. I'm sure you've heard me moan about it a lot of times. Need a new one. I want to get one of those guillotine cutters. But okay, let's just neaten that up. And then I'm going to ink around the edge. And then I can see what it needs, if anything, because I'm actually really liking the eclecticness of it, I think. Okay, let's see. This is what we have. Right, what do we need? Again, I just need to lift it up slightly because the glare is getting in the way. Need a bit of glue there, or in my case, I'm just going to tear it off and I'm going to just grab that bit and then ink. I'm going to round the corners, but I'll wait until the back is on. I did think I should be adding a label to it. Now, I'm part looking at it and thinking I really like it as is, and it possibly doesn't need anything, but maybe in this corner just there. Hopefully you can see that I'm not getting the labels in the way. So I don't want to chuck them all out, so I'm just going to grab a small handful. And see what happens. I don't think I want green. No, I want brown so that it is not blending in, but you know, not taking focus away from the leaf and paper in the middle. I do think it needs to be slightly, you know, just to go over that edge, I think, in the corner. Quite like that. Yeah, definitely think that will help. Just deciding which one I prefer. Quite like that one, maybe. Yeah, that one's too big. Yeah, I think we will go with that. So let's ink that one. Just whatever's left on my dauber. Glue that down. Now it's partly going over the window, so I'm hoping the tacky glue will be enough, but if not, I can always re-glue it if it does pop up. It's a great way to use our scraps. I don't know, I'm tripping over my tongue. I feel like I'm tripping over my tongue today. Actually, I'm going to round the corners, so I'll bring it down a tad. Maybe I should have rounded the corners first. Yeah, that probably would have been smarter. Let's just move you in. And I don't think I'm going to do much more to it. I might put some fussy cuts on there when I come to actually use it. You know, it depends what journal I'm going to put it in. But let's get it backed. So I did say that I liked the leaves. Yeah, something like that would be nice. So I'm going to use the Collaged, go across this whole thing, stick it down, cut around it, ink again probably, and that will be a really cool journal card. Pretty much finished. I've certainly used those leaves that have been sitting around for however long. So let's pop you down there. Try and get it in the middle, along the edge, so I don't have to cut too many times. Oops. There. Right, let's bring in, I'm going to leave that to dry a second before cutting around it. So I just want to see whether this one, oh, got upside down, whether this one needs any labels. I thought maybe something in the corner. Now these are Nanine labels, but I feel like I want something more vintagey kind of colour, and probably something that is specimen-y. So probably be a Tracy Fox label. That one's too big. That one's too... Yeah, I don't want to go over the window on this one, I don't think. Although I quite liked that. I had some that were like collected by and one that said specimen label. Where would those be? I really hope this video is not too long. I'm very sorry if it is. I should learn to pause and not stop the video when I do it, so I can actually keep an eye on the time. But well, you know, you get engrossed in what you're doing, don't you? Now it could be there. Or is that label overkill? Or is it going to be one of those things that I should wait until I know what journal it's going in? I kind of feel like I want to add a butterfly. I'm going to have a quick look, so I'm just going to hit pause. I'm going to look at my butterflies and I'll come back. Okay, sorry about that. I had a quick look and time was ticking on a little bit, and I did want to show you them finished. So I'm not done yet. Last few bits. So I've popped this label on the top here and this little butterfly on this one. I've backed both of them now as well, just with different pieces of scrapbook paper which have lines on them, or graph type of thing. And I think you saw me put this label down, rounded the corners inked. On this one I've attached some washi at the top there, I've attached some washi at the top, just because I had an edge here from the junk, which didn't look quite right. So I've attached this washi, or several pieces of this washi, and I've kind of tried to make it so that it looks a little bit like a notepad on the back, which is that one. I do think it needs something else on the back, so we'll have a look at that together. For this one, you saw me add the label. I've cut around the scrapbook paper. I've just got this leaf print, and I also feel like I want to put something else so on the back. So here's what I'm thinking. For this one, I'm wondering whether we could put a label on, because I don't think there's a label on the front, or there is one, but this can be like a second label. And I would quite like to put a butterfly on, because then they kind of go together as a set. So I'm thinking perhaps something like that. For this one, I'm also thinking a label, not a butterfly, but I'm thinking a flower for this one. Oops, got ink all over my fingers. So I've got this sheet again, and I was wondering about this little yellow flower. Potentially. I'm wondering about having it in the corner, kind of like that. Although I don't know whether it should be... No, I like it at the top, I think. Oops, which way around does that flower go? That way. And I'm wondering if I could have it... Yeah, I think like that. And then you've got all this space to journal on, and then this one is obviously a pocket at the same time. But I think that sticker definitely needs some help, so pop some glue on it if my glue hasn't clogged up. And I think we'll have to call that a video. As much as I would love to carry on, I think that will be it. But I will come on and do the CD pockets. We will do those together on film. So I will do them now, and then I'll put the video up, which will be a video for you to watch tomorrow. Because I have a feeling that will be long-ish as well. I'm trying to make sure I'm cutting them down as much as I can, but you know, hopefully I'll be feeling less rusty on the next one. So something like that. How's that? Yeah, love it. Really liking how these are turning out. So I'm going to do the butterfly first so I can get it on the label where I want him to be. I was trying to cover up that little bug. Doesn't quite cover it up, but hopefully it draws the eye away from the bug a little bit and has a butterfly focal point. Because without it, I just felt like it was the back of it. Although it's got the leaf print, it sort of felt like it was maybe missing something. Pop it back on. And I just feel like that does, if I get it in the right place, just gives it something else for you to look at on the back. Just grab my wipes. My glue, unfortunately, is a little bit, there we go. Got it all over my fingers, of course, as well. There, saved it. Right, let's put that down. My inky fingers getting it all over everything. Yeah, definitely need to wash them before I do the next video. Anyway, I am really happy with how those turned out. As I say, it's one of those things, you start with an idea and then you just start building up around it, and it really just takes on a life of its own, doesn't it? So we have this one made from actual junk. So we've got the lovely flower and vellum in the middle, just to make it kind of look like a faux specimen card, but very vintagey and faded looking. And then of course this one is a pocket. Yep. As well as being, I need some more glue on there, so I'll do that later. As well as being a journaling card itself as well. And I'm glad I went down that route for this one, because it is quite chunky. I don't know if you can see how chunky that is. Because obviously there's quite a lot of layers of card. It's good, it's thick card. I wouldn't have stuck this down onto a page, and especially as it's, it's a portrait anyway, I wouldn't have stuck it down onto a page just because it is far too chunky, and it could put pressure on the pages. So I think I'll keep that one as sliding it into a pocket, in the front of a journal or something like that, or the back of a journal. And then that could be a really fun pocket and journal card. And then this one is obviously made from the junk mail envelope. Bit of collaging, our real pressed leaf in the middle, and obviously you've got the junk mail envelope being the plasticky front. And then obviously we've turned that into a journal card. And that one needs just to dry a bit where I had to wipe it. So there we are. I really hope you like those. So tomorrow's video is going to be a continuation of this one, where we're going to do the CD envelopes. And then I just wanted to give you a heads up as to what I have planned for next Monday, if all goes well, or at least one of the Mondays in January. And the reason I'm showing you these is because I need to do a little bit of prep work before the video. So I have these placemats that my mum made for me many years ago, and when I was living on my own, which is why they're very pink. So they've got this really fun mushroom and vegetable, fruit and veg pattern on that one, and all the fruits on this one. And what I want to do is turn them into so as I was saying, I want to turn these into recipe journals to keep in our kitchen. And they need a clean up. They've got all like food stuck on them, which is a bit gross, but I'm going to give them a good old wash. And then I'm gonna do some trimming down because they're too big to just be turned into journals as is. So I need to trim the edges, but I want to obviously keep the middles with these fruits and vegetable fabric. I want to keep that as obviously the main cover. So I'm just going to chop these down. So the next time you see them, if all goes well, they will be cut down to a better size to make into journals. And then we're going to make these together. And they're for me, they're for my kitchen. And I really hope that my mum doesn't mind me doing this. It's just because, you know, pink doesn't really go with our dining room now. You know, we've gone for black and silver. And obviously I've got my husband with me and I'm not sure he would want to be using something so floral. Not floral, but so feminine. So yeah, I want to do that. And then at least, because at the moment they're just tucked away in a drawer, they're not being used. So I want to give them a new lease of life, give them a purpose, and actually have them as something that I will look at every day. So I hope she doesn't mind me doing that. That's the back. Both backed with the same fabric as this like fun, young floral print. But yeah, I've had these absolute years, and I hope that she doesn't mind me doing it. But as I say, I'm turning them into something that I would use on a daily basis, because obviously we cook every day, and that way I can really appreciate them. So I'm going to have one for like main meals, starters and mains, which is probably going to be this vegetable one. And then the fruit one, I think I'm going to have as more of a baking journal, so it will be the like the puddings and the sweet treats and things. So those will be really, really fun to do. I've already got the kit. And the reason I'm using this as a finish it up project is because I've literally had these tablecloths, placemats. When did I pick them out? Was it June? Must have been June. I got these out and said, right, I'm going to make these into journals. Never did. I bought the kit, printed the kit, never used it. So I'm going to make sure that I do them as part of these videos. Again, because it's a big project, I doubt it will be one video, it might be several, but we'll start them next Monday as part of the finishing up your unfinished. So there we are, that's us done for today. So I really hope you enjoyed watching me make these journal card pocket things. I really enjoyed making them. Really happy with how they look, how they've turned out, and I hope you'll join me tomorrow for the CD pockets that we're going to do, which kind of follows a similar sort of idea to this, but with the pressed leaves, but obviously they'll look very different again. And those ones will be doing a bit of mixed media, which I'm very excited about. Willing to give anything a go at this point. So yeah, thanks so much for joining me today. I hope you're all well, and I will speak to you in this case tomorrow.